Hello, and welcome to today's Wellness webinar. My name is Shane Drosy, and I am the Wellness Coordinator for the National Alliance on Mental Illness here in San Diego. I have the privilege of working on a team of inspiring individuals who devote themselves to empowering their community with cutting-edge technology, apps, training classes, and wellness resources. Our project is funded by the County of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency through the Mental Health Services Act. Our goal is the creation and expansion of opportunities for uses of technology and strategies which support culturally competent recovery and resilience. The services are provided to existing consumers and family members of consumers of the behavioral health services system. The project was aligned under the MHSA Capital Facilities and Technological Needs Plan and is called the Consumer and Family Empowerment Technology Project, also known as NAMI San Diego Tech Cafe. Thank you so much for joining me today in this wellness webinar. I have an exciting webinar for you all today. We are featuring Urban Beats. It is a group of amazing individuals who work with TAY, transitional age youth, through art to help them on their road to recovery. Before we get into that, I just want to go over a few housekeeping tips with you all. You will notice in the upper right-hand corner of your YouTube screen, there is an eye with a circle. If you click that eye, you will be given the option to engage in a short poll. There's a link that will bring you to the Tech Cafe homepage. In addition, you'll have the option to donate directly to NAMI San Diego. If you haven't done so already, we'd love for you to engage with us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Instagram. Twitter and Facebook are at NAMI San Diego, and Instagram is at nami.san.diego. A quick disclaimer, the views and opinions expressed in this webinar are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of NAMI San Diego. Assumptions made in the analysis are not reflective of the position of any entity other than the authors, and since we are critically thinking human beings, these views are always subject to change, revision, and rethinking at any time. Please do not hold us to them in perpetuity. Alright, so what is Urban Beats? Urban Beats is an innovative artistic expression program for transition age youth, or TAY. The Urban Beats program utilizes the arts and social media as a platform for TAY to express themselves without judgment, improve wellness, and enhance their self-sufficiency. The program creates a space for TAY to destigmatize mental illness, explore creative arts and job opportunities within the community based on the personal strengths and interests of the participating TAY. Alright, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Alex. Alex is one of the directors at Urban Beats, and he is going to go over everything there is to know about Urban Beats with us in this and the second part of this mini-series. And I do hope you enjoy Alex as an inspiring individual, and I think you will learn a lot from him and quite honestly be inspired. So, enjoy!
Alex Heyer. Hi. I am the program coordinator for Urban Beats. I've been working in this field for about 10 years. The reason why I'm in this field is, everyone shared, is because my family suffers from mental illness. I have two sisters that are in recovery right now that suffer from bipolar disorder with psychotic features, and then my mother also was in recovery before she passed. So definitely, touches home for me, and that's why I'm part of this program, why I helped create it. So Urban Beats, has anyone heard of this program before? Cool.
I have actually heard a little bit about it. But
Cool. So Urban Beats is an artistic expression program. Use art to break the stigma of mental illness. We actually have events in the community all the time. We actually have a big event coming up on next Thursday. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. And the event itself is called From the Ground Up. And the idea of that event and most of our events is to really make art interactive, right? Let's talk about mental illness in a way that's palatable, because a lot of the time it gets thrown in our face and we have too many questions, right? What can I do? What should I do? What am I doing right now that's wrong? What am I doing now that's right, right? We want to make it so it's accessible. And the best way that we can do that is by art. So this is a quick intro video that we do. I have a PowerPoint, but it's not working on this, so it's okay. But we have videos that can help supplement, so.
Lights off? You make too much fun.
That's fine. So that's our intro. That's a good example of like the youth that we're working with. A lot of the stuff that you saw is youth driven. So all the content created is all youth based. Why? Why is all the content? Well, we have to figure out a way to connect. A lot of the time the youth that we're getting, and you guys may have relations with this, are youth that are not trauma informed, right? Youth that say, crazy people need to go to church. Right? You talk to your pastor. Oh, I'm not going to be friends with someone who has schizophrenia. What are you talking about? That's a guy on the street. Right? These are the phrases that we commonly hear when they first come to our program. And a lot of the times, because we're focused heavily in Southeast, so a lot of the folks that we're working with are gang-related, victims of violence from gangs, a lot of like people coming out of the justice system. So a big sense of self is there, a lot of pride in who they are and where they come from. Also, a lot of resistance against admitting, like, hey, I might struggle with mental illness, right? Because that's weak. And they don't want to be weak, right, in their mind. So what we do, say, all right, man. So I have a guy, Joe Smith, fake name, but Joe Smith comes in wearing all red, talking about, he's from, Bloods out there right on Euclid and Imperial. I stay at the four corners of death. That's where I'm from. Don't mess with me. All right, man, what do you want to make a song about? Let's make a song about, I don't know, man, girls, money, and sex. I'd be like, my man, all right. Well, let's make your song. Make a song. And it will be about that. And I'm not going to inhibit that, because that's how he likes to express himself, so fine. Let's make another song. What do you make a song about? Let's make a song, man, I'm telling you, I need and one more about girls, man, so is good, man. All the homies liked it. All right, man, make a song about girls. But I'm gonna challenge you. One of your verses has to be about something you experienced as a child. It could be anything. I don't care what it is. It could be anything you want. So it could be about girls you met when you were a child. That's fine. All right, man, let's do that. All right. When I was young, I met this girl named Sheena. And then bam, and then we have a song, but we're connecting with his childhood, right? All right, let's make another song. Next song. All right. I want you to tell me about the hardest thing you've ever experienced. He's like, what? Hardest thing you ever experienced, man? It could be anything. Time the police stopped you to beat you up. Let's talk about that. When you were in jail, what was that like? Right. Growing up, you said you were a gang family. What was that like? That must have been hard. Yeah, man, it was hard. I'm hard. All right? Let's talk about it, right? So this is the idea of rolling with resistance. And this is an idea that's found in motivational interviewing, right? Rolling with resistance. Not necessarily forcing my agenda on them, but letting it come naturally. And youth are so, and agree with me and disagree with me if I'm wrong, are so empathic, right? They can sense when you're fake. If you're not authentic with them, if you're not transparent, they can be, oh, I ain't trying to mess with you, man. You're trying to get me in this chair talking about my problems, I ain't about that, right? So we want to be authentic, right? We want to have them there, ready to listen, right? And so the biggest thing that we would do with this guy is like, all right, we talk about this hard thing. Hey, do you know a term for that? You said you were struggling every day because you were hungry, and you're freaking out because you didn't know where you're gonna get your next meal from. You know what that's called? What? What's that called, man? That's called anxiety, my dude. Anxiety. That's the term you're looking for. Really? Well, I feel anxious. All right, man, I like you. You're identifying the words. I feel anxious. Let's make a song about being anxious, right? Let's talk about post-traumatic stress, right? Because I know that if I hear gunshot, I get triggered, right? I grew up in some of the mean streets of Oakland, and so when I hear certain things, hey, time to get out of this scene, right? You have that feeling, like you know when you're at a party and you think things are going good, but then you feel like a shift, and oh, something's gonna happen, right? You get that like instinct, oh, that's how I feel. Okay, when I feel that, I need to go. Right? But now in this field, I'll be in a place and I see that crisis arising. Now I'm like, oh, I need to intercept. Right? Oh, and now I can see it. And if you are from that area, you kind of get that feeling. Oh, sorry, book. You get that feeling. You get that feeling, and I'll talk to our youth saying, hey, you have that instinct. And you may think that everyone has it, but they don't. And you need to be able to utilize that. Let's talk about that in a song. Let's talk about that survival instinct that you developed as a child. So we utilize this song, and now we have 4 songs, started with girls, started with talking about marijuana, talking about drugs, sex, all this stuff, right? And now we're talking about songs about anxiety, and that's where we start, right? That's when we start talking about recovery right there. So one of the biggest things that I've experienced is resistance for any means, and especially in groups. Like we'll have groups, like we had a group at Second Chance, and when we were at Second Chance, we had one group and everyone was on their phone laughing. All of them were laughing. And I was like, why are they laughing? Like, what is funny? And I was like, what's so funny, guys? And like, oh no, we're in this Snapchat right now, and this girl hooked up with this guy. And that is hilarious, because the girl is like up here in their minds, and the guy is like down here in their minds, and they think it's funny they hooked up, and they're laughing about it. They're having a good old time, and both of the people are in the room, right? I'm like, all right, we need to shut this down. Let's talk about relationships. Let's utilize this, right? Because you all think it's funny, right? Who in here is in a relationship? And like a couple of them raise their hand. Who in here is single? Some people raise their hand. All right, so what I'm hearing is that half the people are in relationships, half the people aren't in relationships. Half the people are trying to figure out how to do it. Other half don't even know what's going on. So let's split this group up. Let's have a relationships group, right? Same idea, rolling with resistance, right? And that's really, really important. So when I talk about having like an idea of where we want our youth to be, one of the things that we want to do is we want to introduce ideas of stigma. And this is the story of one of our youth and how he learned about stigma.
Hi, my name is Santos. I'm from San Diego, California. I've been in Miami Beach for a while, so to me, art is like my way of self-expression. Like, to me, it was really hard to express things in words. Like, to me, I'd get really nervous, or like, I just really was uncomfortable with speaking a lot of the time. So, with my artwork, it's like the only time I can actually put down the thoughts I want to to express. Just say what I want to say, but on a piece of paper. Like, it gets the words I want to get out there. Like, I really love sitting there, enjoying the piece and taking your time into the artwork, and you put your love into your artwork, and it makes you happiness in doing your artwork and taking your time to make it unique, your own. And that's what I really love about art. It's like my separation from being afraid of saying the actual thoughts I have and actually expressing them on a piece of paper, which I think is really great. And like, to me, I did this piece because I really wanted to put out there that you should express yourself in your artwork, and you shouldn't do it, and that we are unique, and that we all are human. And there is one thing I thought that was kind of interesting that I put on there too, that I didn't really know much about. But when I got to Urban Beats, that's when I first learned about it. And it's that 1 in every 4 adults, in one point in their life, will have some type of mental health illness. And to me, that was shocking. Like, I think people should be able to express themselves how they want to and not be afraid or anything. Like, artwork to me is that way of doing it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, so the idea of like 1 in 4, and conveying that, and like he said, he came to our program not knowing that was a statistic, right? And now we want to make sure that all of our youth are aware that this is a thing that affects everybody. You know, we'll have a group of like 15 people, like, hey, a few of you folks might be struggling right now. You know what I mean? And understanding that the peer aspect is really important. So when I think, and one of the biggest things I like about NAMI is the idea of peer recovery, right? So understanding that we are all in this together, and so we approach it similarly, and that's why we have some cohesion. They're awesome, by the way. I really want to make sure that when we're talking, because I'm going to open this up a little bit so you guys can ask questions and stuff. When we're talking about recovery, I want to have everyone on the same page. So, have everyone heard of the stages of change? Okay, a couple nods, cool. Okay, stages of change. So I'm gonna say this slowly. This is important. So first stage is pre-contemplation. Okay. Second stage is contemplation. Third, preparation. Fourth, action. Fifth, maintenance. So 5 stages of change, right? Okay, so we're gonna run through this real quick because I want you guys to utilize this in the future. Because once you get an understanding of this, then we can utilize art, because that's how we can engage easily. Because art doesn't have to be necessarily the best person at drawing. You can do tic-tac-toe. It doesn't matter. It's just figuring out what it is. Okay. So stages of change are important because in the stages of change, you have opportunities to explore where that person is. Right. So for me, I'm on a diet right now, and I like chocolate. Not gonna lie, when I looked at that bowl, I was hoping there's chocolate, and I saw there's chocolate next to it, and I was like, don't go to that bowl. Got it? Okay, I really like chocolate. Now, in pre-contemplation, I'm thinking that there's no problem with chocolate. Chocolate is great. I can eat chocolate every day. I won't get cavities, I won't gain weight, it's gonna be fantastic. My pants will fit the same way. Love it. Chocolate is great. Not thinking that there's a problem, I'm not contemplating that there is anything wrong. Pre-contemplation. Stage 1. Stage 2, someone says, Alex, you just got married? Yeah, I just got married. Thank. You getting that dad body though? What? That underhanded compliment, right? Man, you know what? You gained a little bit of weight, huh? Your wife feeding you well? Man, shut up. I eat chocolate, okay? If you don't get any chocolate, we have a chocolate bowl in our house. I can't help it. It's right there. Take a Reese's out, eat it, drink some milk. Be all right. Okay? Contemplation is the idea of thinking like, man, there might be a problem. Like, I'm gaining weight. My high school it was 180. I'm 7 on the scale. Scale saying get off. Man, it's a problem, right? So I need to work on something, right? I need to change. Maybe take the chocolate out of my diet. I don't want to do that. That's not an option. But I got to figure out something. All right. That is, I'm contemplating that there is a problem, right? Preparation. All right. We're gonna make a plan. We're gonna make a plan. I'm gonna eat chocolate. Every day. I need to eat it at least every other day. Right, and half it out, right? Maybe I'll have it once a week. Maybe I'll have like sugar-free chocolate. That's not gonna be a thing. I'm just gonna try every other day. Make a plan. Maybe I'll try to buy some carrots and have that instead of chocolate once a week, right? I'm making a plan to try and fix the problem, okay? All right, for me, it was no lie. This is a real thing. I really like chocolate. This is not a joke. So I was like, my friend sells Herbalife. I'm like, listen, you lost 50 pounds over the past year. I'm gonna try this Herbalife. So what I did is I bought Herbalife, got a meal plan going, right? I'm starving as we speak. And I started making this plan. I'm starting to prepare to make this change, a permanent change that I want forever. And in our youth, that's really important because a lot of our youth aren't ready to make that change. Right? A lot of youth are in pre-contemplation. They don't realize there's a problem. Hey, did you know that the leading drug that homeless Tay use currently is meth, followed by heroin? That's above marijuana, it's above alcohol. So when I'm talking about problems in pre-contemplation and you're working with homeless Tay or Tay in general, you really need to keep that in your mind because in San Diego, that's a huge issue. Right? We're talking about hard drugs that have a really hard time getting away from, right? Addiction happens instantly with heroin. Heroin has an instant addiction rate. You can be instantly addicted, go through withdrawals after one-time use. It's intense. You can die from heroin addiction. right? You can die from withdrawals from heroin. That is crazy. The only other drug that happens is alcohol. You can die from withdrawals. That's it. And that's intense. That heroin is one of the most addicting drugs, and it's the highest utilized, one of the highest utilized drugs in homeless tank. So pre-contemplation is realizing that there is no problem. Contemplation, realizing there's a problem, you want to do something about it. Preparation, I'm starting to make a plan. Then we go into action. All right, I got my Herbalife going. I have some carrots. I took the chocolate out of my house. That's a lie. Took the chocolate out of my house. Okay, stop eating chocolate, and I'm doing good. I haven't eaten chocolate in like a day. No, I haven't eaten chocolate. In reality, in action, I haven't eaten chocolate in a week or a couple weeks. I'm eating my carrots. I'm drinking my Herbalife stuff. I'm, doing the plan, right? Putting it in action, right? The next step is maintenance. I haven't eaten chocolate in 6 months. I've lost weight. No one's saying I have a dad body anymore, right? Thank God. My knees are feeling better because I'm not as heavy anymore. I'm feeling great, right? That is the entire cycle. Now, there is a connection back into pre-contemplation. Let's say 8 months down the road, I'm feeling great. I got a six-pack again. I'm a high school weight. I'm feeling good. I can have a candy bar. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Have a candy bar, turns into 2 candy bars. I realize how much I miss chocolate. I start eating chocolate again. I'm back into pre-contemplation. Hey, I can lose that weight, no problem. I can eat as much as I want. I did it once, I can do it again, right? So this cycle of change is important because you can move in each one of those stages, okay? Now, if we were to utilize the same idea, but let's use a much harder problem, but let's talk about people who are addicted to meth. Meth is a really hard drug to get away from, especially in San Diego, especially if you're very poor in San Diego. It's easy to get meth. It's everywhere. And a lot of the youth that I've worked with either have used it or have known people who use it, right? So they're in that environment. And I'm trying to get these people into safe environments, right? So I'll have a guy come in using meth every day. All right, my dude, you are shaking a little bit today. You okay? Yeah, man, I'm fine, man. I'm great. I'm doing great. Wow, look at that light. Oh, the clock says 1:30. All right, I'm doing good. Oh, okay. I see your attention is everywhere today. Yeah, we're trauma-informed language, yeah? You're not, hey, are you doing meth? No, I see your attention is everywhere today, all right? What do you want to do today? I don't know, I feel like doing this, that, and the other. What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know, we've got to figure it out together. Okay, all right. I see you got a lot of words you want to use today. Let's play Scrabble. And all right, let's figure out something, right? Let's build a relationship together. Let's learn a little bit about each other. What is your story? I'm homeless, man. Okay. Do you like it? Nah, but it's all what I got right now. Do you want to get some housing? Maybe. I don't know. Sure. This is a very accurate characterization of one of my people. Just giving you an understanding. So we work on housing. Let's get you off the streets first. Let's get you away from some of the stuff that you're around right now. It may not stop you from using drugs, but hey, it's gonna make it a little bit more challenging, right? You can't use drugs at St. Vinny's. You can't use drugs at some of these places. So get him housing. All right, let's talk about drugs, man. Ah, man, it's all good. I got it under control. How often do you use? I use every day. Yeah, do you feel like it's a problem? No, I don't. All right, my man. Well, do you think it will get you kicked out of your housing? Possibly. But I was homeless, I can do it. All right, but it would be much easier if you were just not homeless, right? Maybe. Okay. What do you get from using drugs? Makes me numb. Found it. Found your reason. Why do you want to be numb? Because pain is hard, right? And it's easy to write people off who use drugs who are homeless, because if you haven't been homeless before, you don't understand. Like being homeless, the idea of not having a home at night is awful because it's dangerous, right? When it's dark and you're on the street, you don't want to sleep because you don't want people walking by touching you, right? You don't want to get beat up. You don't want your stuff stolen, and all your stuff's with you, right? And more often than not, a bottle of alcohol can make the concrete feel like a leather, like soft pillow bed, right? Tempur-Pedic forms to your body. That's what alcohol does, man. And it's funny. Listen, growing up was hard, man. Growing up, my family, we were homeless many times. And sometimes, hey, I tell you what, my mom would take a bottle of wine and she'd like, listen, this is what we're gonna do tonight. Here's your food, because we got food from the food banks, and it's awful. Government cheese is the worst thing. But we get potatoes, eggs, and rice every day. That was our meals every day. Like, listen, you kids are gonna eat this, I'm gonna drink this, and we're gonna be all right. Okay, let's do it. We were all right. My childhood wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna lie. My childhood was fine. We were super poor, almost at times. Wasn't that bad. Why? I had a great mother, right? She took care of us, did everything she could to make sure that we were cared for. Can I say the same thing about our youth? No, can't. So they have to find new mothers, right? Hey, guess what? Father's Jack Daniels, and he has a warm hand, right? So we have to make sure we're taking that into account. We don't want to take that away from our youth as far as they're trying to just survive, right? So, all right, meth makes you numb. All right, got it. Let's make your life not so hard that you have to feel numb all the time. Okay. Let's try this, my man. You're gonna use it every day, can't stop that. Let's try harm reduction. Let's try every other day, right? And for every day you don't use meth, I'll make sure you get not only a meal, I'll make sure you get meals for every day, and I will also make sure we can get you housing that will not go away. For every day you don't use meth. Okay, man, fine. If you really want it that bad, fine. They're gonna be grumpy on the days they don't use, guaranteed.
Yeah.
A little strung out. That idea right there, that shift, fine. That's, we're going from pre-contemplation to contemplation, right? Preparation. He's been using meth every other day. All right, hey man, let's cut down. Let's try it again. We did it once, we can do it again. Let's try it. You do it Monday, Thursday, and on Saturday. Because Saturday, you're not gonna be here, so I can't stop you from using. What? Are you kidding me? Hey man, I'm just trying to make a plan with you. Why are you trying to make a plan? Because I want the best for you. I'm investing in you. How many people rejected you in your life? I'll have no one in my life, so you tell me everyone. Well, I'm gonna be the first that doesn't reject you. Right? I'm working with you, man, work with me. Fine, got it. Preparation, we're preparing to make this plan. I'm getting them away from meth slowly, right? Because it's proven really effective that with specifically meth and heroin, other drugs I can't talk about. But meth and heroin, taper, you have to taper them off. You can't do cold turkey. You might kill them if you go to cold turkey.
Right.
And, or linking them, because once I get them to 3 times a week, we can send him to rehab, and he'll be fine, right? But every day, I can't, because it won't stick. It won't stick if I send him to rehab. With youth, my experience, it won't stick. See, a lot of people go and relapse because they try to go cold turkey and didn't have the motivation to stay clean, right? And that's really important to remember, especially with Tay. Highly resilient, right? So we go into preparation, we go to action. All right, my man, let's talk about something. Let's get you to rehab. All right, man, I'm ready to make a change. I've seen the things that are working better in my life. I can remember more of my days, right? Okay, cool. Get him to rehab. Maintenance hasn't used or is using only once a month or once every other month. Huge spans of where they're not using, right? Okay. Now, this can go right back into relapse and everyday use. And you have to be willing to work with them. But you also have to notice the progress, right? From maintenance to relapse. Because it may have been, they used every day, and then they relapsed, but it had been 6 months since they used. 6 months compared to every day is a huge progress, right? And the idea of success should not be the goal, it should be the progress of getting there.
I told you Alex was amazing. So stay tuned. The second part of this video will be posted in just a few minutes. Just in case you were wondering, the Urban Beats eligibility, all their services are available to anyone who is transition age, and they define that as anyone between 16 and 25 years old who are receiving behavioral health services or may be at risk of experiencing mental health challenges. So if you know somebody that fits in this age range group, it's a great organization to connect them with. I will be including a link to their website in the information section on this and the next webinar, but you can find them at www.sdurbanbeats.org. Again, thanks for joining me in this wellness webinar, and I hope you enjoyed the second part of our Urban Beats mini-series.